For years, Diego Maradona wore two watches. One showed the time wherever he was, the other always showed the time in Argentina. This is Diego Armando Maradona, a World Cup champion, a World Cup runner-up, 91 appearances for Argentina, 2 Serie A titles for a city that had never won one, and the first footballer to break the world transfer record twice. Football sold you a simpler story. A poor boy became a genius, carried a country, challenged the powerful, and was eventually crushed by fame. That story is clean. His life was not. He was supporting his family by 15 and became the most expensive player alive at 21. 4 years later, he produced the most dominant individual World Cup football had seen. Then, the same appetite that made every defender, president, and institution look negotiable began treating every limit the same way. Because hunger, for Maradona, was never about wanting to win. It was about not knowing when anything was enough. Stay to the end. 5 things the mythology leaves out, and why an Italian tax auction turned one of his earrings into another striker's trophy.
Diego Armando Maradona, born October 30th, 1960, raised in Villa Fiorito, outside Buenos Aires, in a 2-room house with his parents and 7 siblings. Professional debut at 15, Argentina debut at 16, world champion at 25. But this is not a trial, and it is not a tribute. Both formats make Maradona too easy. The tribute deletes the damage, the trial deletes the mechanism. At 12, he told Argentine television that his first dream was to play in a World Cup, and his second was to win it. He completed both before turning 26. The interesting question is what happened after the dream stopped providing a finish line. I'm not here to call hunger a virtue. It can supply fuel, but without a break, it does not become character, it becomes impact. Here are 5 lessons from the most hungry genius football ever produced.
Lesson 1. 106 days, then 1 bad minute. Barcelona, September 24, 1983. Athletic Bilbao defender Andoni Goicoechea comes through Maradona from behind. The left ankle breaks and ligaments tear. Maradona later compared the noise to the sound of wood breaking. The first forecast was 6 months out. He returned after 106 days, January 8, 1984, against Sevilla, 2 goals. The body had recovered faster than the calendar allowed. 4 months later, Barcelona met Athletic again in the Copa del Rey final. The match ended, insults continued, and Maradona attacked with a headbutt and a knee, triggering a mass brawl in front of the Spanish king and a national television audience. It became his final game for Barcelona. He had spent 106 days winning his career back, then gave his future away in 1 minute of retaliation. Recovery and revenge can look identical from inside the injured person. Both feel like proof. Only one gives you options afterward. The lesson: getting back is not the same as getting even. If revenge chooses your next move, the person who hurt you is still making your decisions. Your action: write the result that would prove you recovered. Then write the punishment you secretly want to deliver. Do not confuse the second list with progress.
Lesson 2. The match his president forbade. Maradona's first season in Naples, a teammate, Pietro Puzzone, brings him the case of a seriously ill child near a Serra whose family needs money for treatment. The obvious plan is a benefit match at Napoli Stadium. Club president Corrado Ferlino refuses. Maradona is the most valuable footballer in the world, recently rebuilt after a shattered ankle, and the insurance risk is absurd. Maradona's answer is simple: then they will play somewhere else. The Napoli squad arrives at a local field after heavy rain. There are no elite facilities, no perfect surface, and no useful protection for the club's investment. There is mud deep enough to swallow the ball. Maradona plays anyway. When he first arrived in Naples, he had said, "I want to become the idol of the poor kids of Naples because they are like I was in Buenos Aires." This was the expensive version of that sentence. Power is easy to display when the institution approves the display. Leverage becomes real when you spend it on someone who cannot return the favor. The lesson: your values do not appear in what you endorse. They appear in the risk you accept when the answer from above is no. Your action: identify one person with less leverage than you. Spend one piece of access, reputation, or time that actually costs you something.
Lesson 3. The pass after they took away the dribble. Mexico City, June 29, 1986, the World Cup final. Argentina lead West Germany 2-0, then lose control of the match. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge scores, Rudi Völler scores. With 9 minutes left, it is 2-2. For most of the final, Lothar Matthäus has followed Maradona closely enough to remove the thing everyone came to see. There is no open field and no slalom available. The second goal against England will not be repeated. So Maradona stops trying to win the final as the version of himself the world expects. In the 84th minute, he receives the ball in the center circle, under pressure. Jorge Bruchacaga starts running. Maradona later remembered shouting, "Go, go, they're dead." One touch sends the pass through the German defense. Bruchacaga reaches it and scores. 3-2, world champions. Maradona's most important action in the tournament was not another dribble. It was recognizing that the defense had organized itself around stopping him, then using that attention to release someone else. The lesson: when people remove your signature move, the result still belongs to you. Identity is useful until you start protecting it more than the outcome. Your action: name the method that made you valuable. Now design one way to win this week without using it.
Lesson 4. The city that had to choose. Naples, July 3, 1990. Argentina face Italy in a World Cup semifinal inside Maradona's home stadium. Italy have won 5 matches without conceding a goal. Maradona arrives with an inflamed right foot and a swollen left ankle. FIFA's account says he can barely walk. Then he turns the match into a question bigger than football. For 6 years, northern Italy had treated Naples as foreign, dirty, and inferior. Now the national team needed the city to behave like obedient Italians. Maradona accused Italy's powers of asking Neapolitans to be Italians for a day after forgetting them for the other 364. Italy score first. Claudio Taniglia equalizes, the first goal Italy have conceded in the tournament. The match reaches penalties. Maradona takes Argentina's fourth and scores. Argentina advance. He did not create Naples' resentment. He understood it well enough to use it when the stakes were highest. That is the uncomfortable side of loyalty. People do not forget how you classified them during the ordinary days just because you need unity during an emergency. The lesson: loyalty cannot be activated on demand. If someone only belongs when you need their sacrifice, they do not belong. They are inventory. Your action? Find the person or team whose loyalty you invoke under pressure. Ask what evidence you gave them on an ordinary Tuesday that they mattered.
Lesson 5. The nurse who took his hand. United States, June 1994. Maradona has rebuilt his body for one last World Cup. Against Greece, he scores, runs toward a television camera, and screams into the lens. It looks like resurrection. After Argentina beat Nigeria, a nurse walks onto the field, takes him by the hand, and leads him to a drug test. The test finds banned stimulants related to ephedrine. FIFA removes him from the tournament. Maradona says, "They cut off my legs." For years, the public argument became conspiracy against carelessness. His own autobiography is less convenient. Maradona wrote that his trainer, Daniel Serini, had made the mistake with a supplement and that he accepted responsibility for trusting the process around him. Argentina lose the next 2 matches and go home. The comeback lasts 1 goal in 2 games. This is what uncontrolled hunger eventually does. It makes every safeguard feel like interference. The body becomes a project, and the entourage becomes permission, until responsibility is outsourced and the result arrives with your name on it. The lesson: the system around your talent is part of your talent. You can delegate a task, you cannot delegate the consequence. Your action: name the one dependency that can disqualify your entire result: legal, financial, medical, or technical. Add a second check before the next deadline.
Now, some things you probably don't know about Diego Maradona. First, the 2 watches. When he traveled, one stayed on local time and the other stayed on Argentina time. One wrist told him where he was, the other told him where he still belonged. Second, he did not merely become the most expensive footballer in the world, he did it twice. Barcelona broke the transfer record to sign him from Boca Juniors in 1982. Napoli broke it again in 1984. 2 world record fees in 2 years, after which the supposedly reckless purchase delivered the first league titles in Napoli's history. Third, before Napoli finally completed the transfer, Maradona wrote that one supporter chained himself to the gates of the San Paolo, and others announced a hunger strike. The concept of hunger had already reached the supporters before the player reached the stadium. Fourth, Italian authorities seized one of his diamond earrings over unpaid taxes. In 2010, it sold at auction for €25,000. The buyer was Palermo striker Fabrizio Micoli, who called Maradona his idol and said he hoped to return it to him. Even Maradona's debt produced memorabilia. Fifth, after his move to Boca Juniors, the boy who had continued living with his parents and 7 siblings used his first salaries to move Don Diego and Donna Tota out of Via Fiorito and buy them a house in Via Devoto. His first serious upgrade was not a car, a watch, or an earring.
It was the address of the people who had fed him when the family did not always have enough. 5 lessons from Diego Maradona. Recovery does not require revenge. Values appear in the risk you accept after authority says no. When people remove your signature move, protect the outcome instead of your identity. Loyalty cannot be activated on demand, and talent is only as reliable as the safeguards around it. At his farewell match in 2001, Maradona gave the cleanest verdict on his own life. "I made mistakes, and I paid for them, but the ball does not get stained." He was right about the separation and wrong about the cost. The ball stayed clean. Almost everything around it absorbed the damage. Hunger took a child from Villa Fiorito to the Azteca Stadium and rebuilt a broken ankle in 106 days. It sent him into mud for a sick child. Years later, the same force opened the pass to Baruchaga and made Naples question where it belonged. But it kept asking for more after more had stopped helping. If you want the whole contradiction, read his autobiography, El Diego, and watch Asif Kapadia's documentary, Diego Maradona. Here's the confrontation. You call hunger a virtue because you only measure what it starts. What does yours fail to stop? Subscribe if you're done confusing appetite with discipline. No motivation, just method.